All right, time to open some Magic the Gathering. I'm Metal and Magic the Gathering. I'm Metal. Here we go. Magic the Gathering. I'm Metal. There we go. Things shouldn't be open. Let's see what we got. This is Brothers War. I don't know much about Brothers War. I didn't pay any attention to spoilers. I just know there's Transformers, and that's why I'm here. I like robots. Let's see what we got. We're gonna open a set booster today, which is like 30 packs, and then a collector booster after that. So, let's see. No box topper. That's lame. Packs. I played a pre-release yesterday. I did the I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll take this one pile of cards here, which was all the artifacts, and I made a deck out of that. As usual, I lost because I'm good at that format. So let's see what we got. Pull tabs on them. Yes. Woohoo. Oh, that is not pulling enough. Oh my. Let's get it going. Oh my god, I'm like good. There we go. Now we have it open. Alright, oh there we go. The schematic staff. Garbage. Retrieval agent. 2 mana, gets +1/-. Oh, that's kind of neat. Kind of like a miniature Charix. Recommission. Target artifact or creature card with mana value 3 or less. Well, you return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature enters the battlefield this way, it gets a +1/+1 counter. Useful. Goblin Blast Runner. Gets +2/+0 and has menace as long as you sacrifice the permanent this turn. Unleash Shell. 5 damage to target creature, planeswalker, and 2 damage to its controller. That's 5 mana. Excavation Explosion. Deals 3 damage to any target, and you get a Power Stone. Of course, tapped. Giant Cindermaw. Trample. Players can't gain life. Oh, that's like a black card that does that too. I forgot what it's called. Flow of Knowledge. Draw a card for each. Oh, that could be cool. That could be really cool. Mask of the Jade Crafter. I used this a couple times, and I got a 7/7 golem once and a 5/5, and I still lost. Yeah. Like a metal. Oh, that's useful. I bought one of these a few months ago now for my artifact deck. Put that over there. Furkle. Master Wizard. Beginning your end step, if you've cast a non-creature spell this turn, reveal top 5 cards of your library. For each card type among non-creature spells you've cast this turn, you may put a card of that type from among the revealed cards into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Lorraine, Disciple of History. Whenever Lorraine, Disciple of History, or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And a Power Stone token. Disappointing. There are no Transformers yet. How could they do this to me? How could they? Okay, I have to find a better way to open them. I feel like I'm just gonna look inept. Oh, that wasn't as bad as the first one. The Urza thing that gives your stuff flat. It gives colorless stuff flash. I got that card in the pre-release yesterday, so that was cool. Burrowing Razormaw. When Burrowing Razormaw dies, mill 4 cards. Over there. Trench Stalker. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Trench Stalker has Death Touch and Lifelink. No One Left Behind. Spell costs 3 less to cast if it targets a creature with mana value 3 or less. Turn target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Haywire Might. When it dies, you gain 2 life. Oh, that's useful. You can sack it for green and exile target non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Somewhat useful. Involuntary cooldown. Put up to 2 artifacts and/or creatures Oh, tap up to 2 artifacts and then put stun counters on them so they don't untap. Falaji Vanguard? Maybe, hopefully. I'm not much of a reader, I guess. Whenever Falaji Vanguard or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Jotun? Tactician? Other soldiers get +1/+1. Elsewhere Flask. Oh, you get to draw a card and mana. I got this in my pre-release. It came in handy getting me cards because I needed all the help I can get. Tyrant of Kier Ridges. Flying. When it ETBs, it deals 4 damage to any target. You pay red and it gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Alright, now we have succeeded. We got a robot. This is why we're here. Robot. And then we have a list card. Cast down. Destroy target non-legendary creature. Go over there. I'm gonna foil robot at that. Do not have Slicer. So far, all I have is Prowl, RC, and Soundwave. So we're up to 4. That's what I like to see. Ooh, Millstone. That's nice. Epic Confrontation. Target creature you control gets +1/+2 till end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. Each deals damage equal to its power to the other. I thought that's what. Oh yeah, that was the rules text that I read, not realizing. Sibling rivalry. Gain control of target artifact or creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. You create a power stone. Bitter Reunion. When Bitter Reunion ETBs, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Oh, that's easy. Sack it, and creatures you control gain haste till end of turn. Argothian Opportunist. When Argothian Opportunist enters the battlefield, create a Power Stone token. Take flight. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and flying. Whenever this creature attacks, draw a card. Useful. Corrupt. Corrupt deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. You gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from among it. And then choose an artifact or creature card from their graveyard. Exile chosen cards. Quietus Spike. Equipped creature has Death Touch. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. Oh, that's disgusting. Soul Guide Lantern. When Soul Guide Lantern enters the battlefield, exile a target card from a graveyard. Sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern. Exile each opponent's graveyard. Tap and 1. Sack it to draw a card. Llanowar Wastes. Falaji Chain Dancer. Pay 2 and it gains double strike till end of turn. Token. See what we got. Art. Thingy. I don't know what that is. Island. Good island. Not like the garbage islands we were getting. Overwhelming Remorse. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Stern Lesson. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Create tap Power Stone token. Takasa Dig Site. You get to surveil. Look at that. Surveillance. Thraxodemon. 3 taps. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Draw a card. Evangel of Synthesis. When it ETBs, draw a card, discard a card. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Evangel of Synthesis gains +1/+0 and has a menace. We are being scary and menacing. Disciples of Gix. When at ETB, search your library for up to 3 artifact cards. Put them into your graveyard and shuffle. I don't feel that that's nice. Transmographin's Altar. 1 black to sack a creature and add 3. Colorless. 2 and tap. Sack a creature, create a 3/3 zombie artifact creature token. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, Ratchet. Hopefully we get a second Ratchet because I know somebody who wants a Ratchet. And this will go to Ron if we get it. Boundary Inspector. I love this card. I put it in any artifact deck, obviously, because it makes your artifacts cost 1 less to cast. Battlefield Forge, hulking, metamorph. So it has the prototype. So you pay for. Oh, this is the shapeshifter one. So it's either coming as a shapeshifter 3/3 artifact creature, I believe, right? You may have hulking metamorph enter the battlefield as a copy of an artifact or a creature you control, except as an artifact creature in addition to its other types. Its power and toughness are equal to hulking metamorph's power and toughness. So yeah, whatever the power and toughness is, whichever money you pay, 9 or 4, the money's. That's gonna not make people angry. Good thing no one's watching. There we go. Easy Monet. What do we got? Card. Costa's Owlet. When Omelette. Oh. When it leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 life. And you can unearth it for 4 manas. Wasteful Harvest. Mill 5 cards. You may put a permanent card from one of the cards milled this way into your hand. Airdrift Chaplain. Flying. When Airdrift Chaplain enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a plains card or a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among cards milled this way into your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on Airdrift Chaplain. Stone Retrieval Unit. ATBs, you create a tapped Power Stone token. Sky Shift Spider Monkey. Reach. When it ETBs, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target permanent. Destroy target non-land permanent. When Skyfish Spider dies, you may gain 1 life for each creature card in your graveyard. If you do, exile this Spider Monkey. Gnawing Vermin. Creature, rat. When Gnawing Vermin enters the battlefield, target player mills 2 cards. When it dies, target creature you don't control gets -1/-1 till end of turn. Junkyard Genius. I've seen this one before. When it ETBs, create a tap Power Stone token. I like the name and the art. I don't really think it's a good. I mean, it's a 3 mana 2/2 that also gets you a Power Stone. So you're obviously going to do artifacts with that, or other X things you could pump into that aren't spells. Then artifacts. 3 mana sacrifice. At least okay. So there's 3 mana, sacrifice another creature or artifact, and then until end of turn, other creatures you control get +1/+0. And Menace and Haste. That's useful. Ah, Swiftfoot Boots. That's nicely playable. Millstone. That's gross to some people. The Costa Dig Site Mentor. Creatures you control have Vigilance and tap to surveil 1. Wow, there's a lot of mana. That's 8 mana. Exile Costa Dig Site Mentor from your graveyard. Return any number of target artifact cards with total value 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That could be useful. Prison Sentence. Enchanted creature. When Prison Sentence enters the battlefield, scry 2. Enchanted creature can't attack, block, and its abilities cannot be activated. That sucks. Also something Ron has done to me. But stopping my Giralf with a... Oh, what is that card? Not a Quellis Spike. Oh, I can't even remember the name of the card, but I couldn't activate my abilities, and I was very sad I couldn't make zombies. Ravenous Gigamole. When Ravenous Gigamole enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a creature card from among the cards milled this way onto your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on the Gigamole. Dwarven Forge Chanter. Ward, pay 2 life. Prowless. Oh, okay, you get a +1/+1 counter. Hey, you can put that with Optimus. Pendragon Strongbow. Sacrifice an artifact. Pendragon Strongbow gets +1/+0. Sorry, +1/+1 until end of turn and deals 1 damage to each opponent. Obstinate Baloth. When it ETBs, you gain 4 life. Spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Obstinate Baloth. Put it onto the battlefield instead of putting it into your graveyard. Useful. Sardian Cliff Stomper. As long as it's your turn and you control 4 more mountains, Sardian Cliff Stomper gets X plus O, where X is the number of mountains you control. Gia's Courser. When it attacks, if there are more If there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, draw a card. Herbalist Engineers. ETBs choose one. Deals 1 damage to any target. You can put +1/+1 counter on a target creature, and it gains trample and haste on the turn, or you can create a Power Stone. Battery Bearer. Creatures you control have tap to add colorless mana. Can't be. Oh, all your creatures gain Power Stone abilities. Whenever you cast an artifact spell with mana 6 or greater, draw a card. Ornithopter. Underground River. Useful. Oh shit, we got a gold bug. I'm in for Bumblebee. Oh, and a Ravage token. Also in. That'll stick with the robots, because I mean, it's importantly a robot. Let's see how we're doing. Nothing. Alright. More full arts. We're in for that. Let's do a thing here. Alright. Scrapwork Mutt. It's a dog. It's a 2-mana dog. When at ETBs, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And it has Unearth. 1 red and a colorless. Scrapwork Cohort. They must be friends. When at ETBs, you create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Unearth for 2 and a whites. I feel like we're in a theme here. Scrapwork Rager. When at ETBs, you draw a card and lose a life. And it has Unearth for 3 and a black. Ashnod's Harvester. Whenever it attacks, exile target card from a graveyard. You can unearth it for 1 and a black. Reconstructed Thopter. Flying 2/1. Unearth for 2. Mishra. Mishra. Excavation Prodigy. Haste. Pay 1, discard a card, draw a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, you get to add 2 mana. 2 red mana. This ability only triggers once each turn. That's less than ideal. Symmetry Matrix. So whenever a creature with power equal to its toughness enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 1 to draw a card. Quicksilver Amulet. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Ichor Wellspring. When at ETBs, put a card from your graveyard. Put a card into a graveyard. Wait a minute, hold on. When Ichor Wellspring enters the battlefield, or is put into a graveyard, draw a card. Why did I have so much trouble reading that? Mechanized Warfare. If a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent, or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. Oh, that's a rare. Dredging Claw. A crypt creature gets +1/+0 and has Menace. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, you may attach the claw to it. The claw. That goes on. See how we're doing. We're doing good with Transformers. I think you're only supposed to get like 3 per, and I've already gotten my 3. That could also suck. That means there's no more. Machine over Matter. We looked at that. Boulder Branch Golem. When at ETBs, you gain life equal to its power. So it's either a 3/3 if you pay 4, or 6/5 if you pay 7. Mightstone's Automation. Enchant Artifact. When at ETBs, draw a card. Enchanted Artifact is a creature with base power and toughness 4/4, in addition to its other types. Survivor of Corliss. First strike. You can exile it from the graveyard, discard 2 for 2 mana. Ambush Power Trooper. Flash, flying, pay 5. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. You can somehow get a ton of mana, you could pay 5 a bunch. Sargathian Steel Seeker. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put the card into your hand, you may put it into the graveyard. It's almost like you're surveilling it. Great Desert Prospector. When Great Desert Prospector enters the battlefield, create a tap power token. Horn Stoneseeker. Menace. Create a power token, ETB. And if it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice a power token. Ooh, Well Lost Dreams in the schematic. That's not a bad card. Get some mana and life. Portal to Phyrexia, a 9-drop that apparently works for people. I was not too hot on that one. Tower Worker. Tower Worker taps for colorless, and if you have the other workers, the Mine Worker and the Power Plant Worker, that'll tap for 3 colorless instead. Some value there. Okay. Alright, more full arts. We love full arts. Everything else is junk. Aeronaut Cavalry. Flying. When at ETBs, put a +1/+1 counter on another target soldier you control. Wing Commando. Flying and Prowess. 2/2. Swift Gear Drake. Flying Haste. When at ETBs, put up the 1 target card from a graveyard onto the bottom of its owner's library. Keeper of Cadence. Put target artifact, instant, or sorcery card from a graveyard to the bottom of its owner's library. I mean, if you need it back in your library, that's useful. No One Left Behind. Oh, this is the turn target creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Haywire Mites. Mishra's Research Desk. Sacrifice the desk, exile 2 cards from your library, choose 1 until the end of turn. You may play that card. Disciple of History. Did we do one? Yep, we got you already. Chromatic Star. Sacrifice Chromatic Star to add 1 mana of any color. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you can draw. Gitaxian Puppeteer. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. When the Puppeteer dies, return another target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Mishra's Onslaught. Choose 1. You can create 2 1/1 colors, soldier artifact creature tokens, or creatures you control get +2/+0 till end of turn. It's an instant. A little combat trick there. Stay hydrated. What do we got? Show me the Transformers. That's art card. Forest. Disenchant. Classic card. New art. Is he using a gun? Yeah, it looks like he's using a gun to shoot through the golem thing, whatever that is. That's neat. Kolos Rock. Flash flying. Enters the battlefield. Create a tap power stone. Shoot down. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. It's exile, which is nice. So it's 4 mana. Rock Hunter. Reach. 3/1. 2 mana. Steel Exemplar. Trample. ETBs with 2 +1/+1 counters if you only use 1 color to cast it. Or less, I guess. Spectrum Sentinel. Protection from multicolor. Whenever non-basic enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you get a life. Repair and Recharge. Return artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield and create a power stone, which is tapped and stuff. Urza. Prince of Krug. Oh, this is one of the cards I used in my pre-release last night. I just had the regular version. This is cool. So yeah, the artifact creature, you get +2. All artifact creatures you control get +2/+2, and then you make 1/1 versions of other artifact or artifact creatures you control, which is useful because with him out, they're 3/3s. Ooh, Helm of the Host. That's a good pull. We like that. Queen Kala bin Krug. Ah, Staff of Domination. Nice. That's also a useful card. Wall of Denial, Defender, Flying, and Shroud. Like a plane chase or something? I don't know my old sets. Oh, I'm bumping the mic. Sets. Oh, I'm bumping the mic. That's probably annoying. See what we got. Art card. Chromatic Lantern. Mountain. Carrion Locust. Flying. When it ETBs, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. If it was a creature card, that player loses 1 life. Blanchwood Prowler. When Blanchwood Prowler enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among the cards milled. Oh, if you don't, I believe we've seen this already. The Clay Revenant we've seen. Tawnos' Tinkering. Put 2 1/1 counters on target artifact, creature, or land you control. Untap that permanent. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 creature in addition to its other types. Goblin Firebomb. Flash. Pay 7 and tap it to sack and destroy target permanent. Hero of the Dunes. When Hero of the Dunes enters the battlefield, return target artifact or creature card mana value 3 or less to your grave from your graveyard to the battlefield. Creatures you control at mana value 3 or less get +1/+0. Rand Vigil. Whenever one or more artifact or creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Meticulous Excavation. Pay 3, return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it has Unearth, instead exile it, then return the card to its owner's hand. Activate only during your turn. Coast's Crawler, that's cool. Gix, Yawgmoth Freighter. Oh, Unwinding Clock, that's even better. Gix, Yawgmoth Freighter. Whenever a creature does combat damage to one of your opponents, its controller may pay 1 life, and if they do, draw a card. Oh, nice. 7 mana, discard X cards, exile the top X cards of your library. You may play the land cards and cast spells from among them without paying their mana cost. I like the clock and Sosoke Summons. Sure. Whatever that means. Art. Plains. Power plant worker, mine worker. Yeah, these 3 on the battlefield. You tap this one, you get 3 mana. You tap this one, you gain 3 life. And you tap this one. Let's see what we get. Oh, you have to pay 3. Power plant worker gets +2/+2 till end of turn. If you control the other creatures, you get 2 +1/+1 counters instead, so you can slowly grow him if you have them all. Aeronaut's Wings. A equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Haji Reservations. Urza, Power Stone Prodigy. Vigilance. Draw a card, discard a card. Whenever you discard 1 or more artifact cards, create a tap Power Stone. Neat. Oh, we got Megatron. Sweet. Opponents can't cast spells during combat. Beginning of your post-combat main phase, you may convert Megatron. If you do, you add 1 colorless for each 1 life opponents have lost this turn. When you do that, you get the backside, which is he's a tank, even though they show him as a gun. I'm disappointed. Super disappointed. I really wanted a gun Megatron. Oh, this is the Avenger. On the turn, if you pay 1, you get a keyword or 4 keywords. So yeah, we're back to Megatron. The important things here. When Megatron attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact. When you do, Megatron deals damage equal to the sacrifice artifact's mana value to target creature. XX damage would be dealt to that creature this way. Instead, that damage dealt to the creature's controller, and then you convert Megatron back to the other side. I'm in. Thorn of Amherst. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Stacks. Autonomous Assembler. Vigilance. Pay 1, tap, put a +1/+1 counter on target assembly worker you control. And put it on here if you'd like. Look at that. Pay 2 and he's a 2/2, and you pay the 5 and he's a 4/5. That's a Rushland. Oh. I'm thinking it's like a dual land. What am I? Silly. It's a land that shocks you and is probably something I'll never play. When the Scrapsmith enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put an artifact card from among those cards mill display into your hand. If you don't, put +1/+1 counter on the Scrapsmith. Emergency Weld. Return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Veteran's Power Blade. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. It's 1 white to equip to a soldier, and it's 2 to equip to anything else. Energy Refractor. When Energy Refractor enters the battlefield, draw a card. Pay 2 to add 1 mana of any color. So you can use your Power Stones, if you have enough, and just start dumping them into the Energy Refractor. I mean, you lose half of it, but you could use it on anything. So that's kind of useful. Alloy Animist. Until end of turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 artifact creature. That's for 4 manas. Oh, knocking the pile over. Grand Power Suit. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each aura or equipment attached to it and has Ward 2. And this is an equipped 2. Audacity. Enchant Creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has Trample. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Springleaf for Drum. Tap an untapped creature you control, add 1 mana. Ichor Wellspring, Mishra's Foundry. What's rare? Look at that. Carrion Locust, Wizard's Retort. I love this card in my Volo deck. Well, honestly, any deck with a wizard at the helm. We're getting there. I don't know what that is, but it looks very artifacty. Curate, Surveil 2, draw a card. Latinam Adept. Whenever you draw your second card a turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Latinam Adept. Union of the Third Path, draw a card. Then you gain life equal to the number of cards in your hand. And that can go in Ratchet. Ratchet cares about life gaining stuff. Ashnod's Intervention. Until the end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. Blittering Bolt. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. Yikes. Jotun Frontliner. Whenever Jotun Frontliner attacks, another target creature you control gets +1/+0 till end of turn. It's 1 white to return it. To unearth it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a 1/1 colorless soldier token. Phyrexian Processor. ETBs pay any amount of life. Pay 4 to create XX black Phyrexian creature token where X is the life paid when Phyrexian Processor enters the battlefield. That's useful. Julian's Tome. Draw cards and discard. Myrel, Shield of Argive. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. When Myrel, Shield of Argive attacks, create an X/1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens where X is the number of soldiers you already control. Recommission. Oh, Lavaborn Muse. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 2 or fewer lands in 2 or fewer cards in hand, Lavaborn deals 3 damage to him or her. I don't know why I read that as lands. That doesn't make sense. Warlord Elite. An additional cost to cast this spell, tap 2 untapped artifact creatures and/or lands you control. Conscripted Infantry. When an infantry dies, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Power Stone Fracture. In addition to the cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Prison Sentence. We got that. Blanchwood Armor. This is a reprint. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. So always use your Yavimaya. Bushwhack. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. You get one or the other. Levitating Statue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Levitating Statue. 2 mana, Levitating Statue becomes a 1/1 construct artifact creature until end of turn. Pristine Talisman. Add a colorless and you gain a life. Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. Oh, this is a Health and Meld card. That's cool. That's something. Thopter Mechanic. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Thopter Mechanic. When Thopter Mechanic dies, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter. Oh, that's lame. This would be cool if you can like create like 6 if you had 6 counters on it. You only get 1. One single Thopter. Let's see what we can do with these piles. This one. There we go. Start a new pile. That's what we'll do. Start a new pile. Oh, Ramos the Dragon Engine full art. Or sketch art. Art card. Argothian Sprite. Can't be blocked by artifact creatures. Pay 7 mana and put 2 1/1 counters on Argothian Spike. They must really expect you to make a lot of Power Stones for some of these activated ability costs. Urza's Rebuff. Counter target spell or tap 2 target creatures. 3 mana. Gorging Warplow. Fly forward, Death Touch, 6 mana, or a prototype for 2 mana, and it's a 1/1. Calamity's Wake. Exile all graveyards. Players can't cast non-creature spells this turn. Exile Calamity's Wake. That's pretty. Yeah, that'll be used. Exile target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. Gruesome Realization. Choose one. You draw 2 cards and you lose 2 life, or creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Recruitment Officer. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Jotun Dissident. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. That's good. Gilded Lotus. Feldon Rom Excavator. What does he do? Haste. Can't block. When he is dealt damage, exile that many cards from the top of your library. Choose one of them until the next turn. You may play that card. Excavation, Novice Knight. As long as it's enchanted or equipped, it can attack as though it did not have Defender. Some of these list cards are like, why? Why would I want that? I'm sure that thing's probably like a penny. There we go. I can do it! Soldier. A little backwards. No big deal. Oh, that's the Phyrexian thing. Supply drop. Flash ETB. Target creature you control gains +2/+2 until end of turn. You pay 4, sack it, and draw a card. Combat Carrier. Pay 2 to sack it, draw a card. Unearth for 1 blue. Jotun Medic has lifelink. Involuntary cooldown. This is the stun counter one. Monetary Swift Sphere. I believe this is a reprint. That was also in Double Masters 2022. Obliterating Bolt. Jotun Frontliner. I believe we've done Terror Ballista. I don't think we've done this one. Whenever Terror Ballista attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Sculpting Steel. Nice, that's useful. ETB is a copy of any artifact in the battlefield. Blast Zone. Horn Stone Seeker. When a menace ETBs, create a Power Stone. That's what we do. Create Power Stones. That's a dragon engine of some sort, I think. Maybe. I could be wrong. Air Marshal. Target soldier gains flying until end of turn. I believe I've seen that before. Target creature gets Whirling Strike. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and trample till the end of turn. Volley Chain Dancer. I believe we've done this. Evolving Wilds. Defabricate. They're unfabricating things. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. If it was countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into a graveyard. Or counter target activated or triggered ability. Still useful. Slagstone Refinery. Whenever it or another non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, or is put into exile from the battlefield, you create a Power Stone. Tap Power Stone. Forging the Anchor. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of artifact cards from among them. Put reveal cards in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom in any order. Third Pass Iconist. Swiftfoot boost in the sketch. I'm digging it. One with the multiverse. Omniscience, but only once per turn. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. During each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand or the top of your library without paying its mana cost. That's still good. Zephyr Sentinel. Flash Flying. When it ETBs, return up to 1 target creature you control to its owner's hand. If it was a soldier, you put a +1/+1 counter on this card. I'll go in there and I'll sort them later. I am the worst with organization. We're getting there. We're getting there. We are making progress. Urza. Horus. Military Discipline. Flash. Enchanted Creature. When it ETBs, enchanted creature gains first strike at the end of turn and also gets +1/+0. Perimeter patrol. Artifact enters battlefield under your control. This thing gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Valaji Archaeologists. When enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. You may put a non-creature, non-land card from among them milled this way onto your hand. If you don't, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. Burrowing Razormaw. When it dies, mill 4. Calamity's Wake. We've seen that. It's nice. We've seen the Vanguard. We've seen the Tactician. We've seen the Sentinel. Mishra's Bauble. We've all seen that. Blade Coil Serpent. When it enters the battlefield, for each 2 blue that was used to cast it, draw a card. Or each 2 black, each opponent discards. Each red, it gets +1/+0 and trample and haste till end of turn. Symmetry Matrix token. Come on, more Transformers. I really want Cyclonus. That's the one I'm building first. And I already got Soundwave, which is the one I'm building second, which might become first if I don't get Cyclonus. Seen those already. Trench Stalker. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, Trench Stalker has Death Touch and Lifelink. Battlefield Butcher. Pay 5, tap, each opponent loses 2 life. Spell only costs 1 less for each creature card in your graveyard. That's useful, actually. Make it free, theoretically. Static Net. When it ETBs, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Static Net leaves the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life and create a Power Stone token. Pyrrhic Blast. As an additional cast, the cost to cast this spell, sack a creature. Pyrrhic Blast deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to any target and draw a card. Slicer. Oh, we got a second Slicer. I guess that's okay. Self-Assembler enters the battlefield. You may search your library for assembly worker, creature card, reveal it, put it to your hand, then shuffle. Thanos the Toymaker. This is the... You may cast a beast or bird creature spell. You may copy it, except the copy is an artifact in addition to its other types. This is the Mutate guy. He'll be great with that. Power Stone. Getting there. Flames. Desynchronized. Target non-land permanent. Owner puts from the top or bottom of the library, scry 2. Power Stone Engineer. When he dies, create a Power Stone. Obviously tapped. Coastal Bulwark. Oh, this is also sort of like Sharix. It's Defender. And he gets +2/+0 as long as you control an island. So it becomes a 3/3. A boot like Sharix. Nothing great. Giant Growth. Oh, this is like an old school reprint. Sweet. Target creature gets +3/+3 till end of turn. Phalanx Vanguard. Vigilance. Whenever an artifact creature enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Su-Chi Cave Guard. Vigilance, Ward 4. When it dies, add 8 colorless until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases. That's useful. Hulking Metamorph. This is the copy one we've seen before. Heavyweight Demolisher. Beginning of your upkeep, tap Heavyweight Demolisher unless you pay 3. Well, why would you even play that? Oh well. It's 8 mana to bring it back. Burnished Tart is your thing here. Fauna Shaman. Discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle. Costa's... Oh, on that. Yeah, we've seen this one. And more Power Stones. Doing it. Nothing. Art card. No idea what that one is. Fog of War. You gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn by creatures with power 3 or less. Sonali Stalwart. Tap an untapped artifact or creature you control. Add 1 mana of any color. Raise the Ground. This spell can't be countered. Destroy target artifact. Its mana value is 1 or less. Draw a card. Lay Down Arms. Exile target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. Cradle Clear Cutter. Tap it to add the amount of mana. Oh, so yeah, whatever its power is, you'll add green. So if you pay the 6, you get to add 3. If you pay the 3, you get to add 1. Doesn't seem that efficient. Combat Thresher. Double strike. When an ETBs draw a card, you can prototype it for 3 mana to make it a 1/1, or it's 7 mana, it's a 3/3. Iron Claw Crusher. Whenever it attacks, target attacking creature gets plus X plus O till end of turn, where X is Iron Claw Crusher's power. So it's either 4 mana, it's a 4/5, or 7 mana, it's a 4. There we go, Cyclonus. That's why we're here. This is it. So whenever Cyclonus deals combat damage to a player, connives. If its power is 5 or greater, convert it. So that's the regular phase for 4 mana. If you more than meets the eye or you convert it, you get this side, which is living metal. So as long as it's your turn, there's a vehicle. He's an artifact creature, basically. As only during your turn, though. And you can't crew him unless you have some other crew effect. Flying. When he deals combat damage to a player, you convert it. If you do, there's an additional beginning phase after this phase. So after your combat phase, you get an additional beginning phase. You get another, upkeep, untap, draw. So you get all your mana back, which is sweet. Which is why I wanted to get that one. Elsewhere, Flask. When an ETBs draw a card, we've seen this. Gix's Command. I got this as my promo card. I didn't play it though. I didn't play black at all. I played colorless and the Urza one white blue, the white blue Urza. Worst deck ever. Choose 2. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. Oh, that's so rare. That can go here. Trench Stalker, we've seen this one. Okay. Alright, let's see. We're getting there. We're getting there. That's something. Moraine's Escape. Target creature, artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible till end of turn. Scrywall. Giaxian Infiltrator. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on the Infiltrator. Third Path Savant. 7 mana to draw 2 cards. That's not amazing. Tomocool Honor Guard. Ward 2. Ward 2. Alright. Bajili Dragon Engine. Prototype, it's 3 mana to be a 1/3, or it's 8 and it's a 5/5 flying. And you can pay 2 any number of times to give it +1/+0. Gurgling Anointer? That's a name. Flying. Whenever you draw your second card a turn, put +1/+1 on Gurgling Anointer. When Gurgling Anointer dies, return another target creature card with mana value less than or equal to Gurgling Anointer's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Spotterthopter. Flying. When it ETBs, scry X, where X is its power. That's kind of neat. Even if you only pay the 4, you still scry 2. Soundwave. Got another one of him. So he's token based. So whenever one or more creature tokens you control deal combat damage to a player, exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value equal to the damage dealt from their graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. If you do, convert Soundwave. Flip my boy into a boom box. Whenever you cast a spell with an odd mana value, convert Soundwave. If you do, create a Ravage, legendary 3/3 black robot artifact creature token with menace. Whenever you cast a spell with even mana value, convert Soundwave. If you do, create Laserbeak, legendary 2/2 bird, or 2/2 blue robot artifact creature token with flying and hexproof. We are in for the robots. Millstone, we've all seen this. Painful Quandary. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless they discard a card. That's terrible. Like, gross terrible, not bad. Oh, 5 mana. Could be better. And this thing enters the battlefield, you create a tapped Power Stone. Get more robots. I didn't expect this many robots from a set booster. I honestly thought I'd only get like 3. I think the box says 1 in 10 packs gets a robot, and then Only 30 packs. So I'm glad they're wrong. Desynchronized, Engineer, Fog of War, Coastal, Zephyr, Battlefield, Static Next. Alright, so we've seen most of these. Perilous Vault, exile Perilous Vault, and you can exile all non-land permits. Oh, that's terrible for me. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life, where X is the number of cards in your hand, -4. Mishra, Tamer of Makfala? Makfala? This is the one that gives all of your permanents wards, sacrifice a permanent. Each artifact in your graveyard has unearth. 5-drop. Seems decent. Hoarding Recluse. Reach Death Touch. When it dies, put up to one other target card from the graveyard to the bottom of its owner's library. Order of Yawgmoth. Fear. When Order of Yawgmoth deals damage to a player, that player discards a card. Nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's getting hot in here. Should have left the AC on longer. We've seen this one. We've seen this one. We've seen that one. Man, oh, nice. Aetherflux. I'm in. We all know what Aetherflux does. Whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you cast before it. Pay 50 life. And Laser Beam people. Fade from history. Each player controls an artifact or enchantment. Creates a 2/2 green bear creature token, and you destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Yikes. Whirling Strike. Power Stone. There we go. Opening him up. Opening Sesame. Card. Raise to the ground. Lawrence Escape. Depth Charge Colossus. I don't think we've seen this one. So it doesn't untap during your untap step, and you pay 3 to untap it. It's a 9 for 9. It's a 9/9 for 9. Or if you pay the prototype cost, it's a 6/6 for 6. That's the Goliath. We've seen that one. We've seen the Claw. We've seen this. We've seen that. Bonesaw. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Oh, this is the one where whenever it attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded up. That's not mean. Area of Champions, like one of the first cards. Artifact Soldier. Kind of reminds me of HK 47. It's been a long time since I played Knights of the Old Republic, though. So I could be remembering poorly. We got that one. We've seen that one. Scatter Ray. This is a new one. Counter target artifact or creature spell unless its controller pays 4. That's actually not too bad. That might come in useful. Taxian Skull Flare. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, put a +1/+1 on the Skull Flare. Cradle Clear Cutter. We've seen this one. The Thresher. Sigil of Valor. Crypt creature attacks, gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other creature you control. Kyla's Reconstruction. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to X artifact and or creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. The rest in the bottom in any order. Get a Reunion. We've seen this one. And another Soldier. So we're almost done with the set booster. And we will open the collector. Signed card. Sweet Swamp. Mishra. Let's see. As long as you control enchanted creature, gets +2/+1. Otherwise, it can't block. That could be on your stuff or somebody else's. Nice. Enchant artifact or creature. When Weakstone Subjugation enters the battlefield, you may pay 3. If you do, tap enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untapped step. Gix's Caress. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards a card. Create a tap Power Stone token. Alright, they're all getting knocked over. We will fix. We will fix. Put them up there. Glorious Pallbearer, Gaia's Gift, Dragon Engine, Gnarling, Burnished Heart. Faithful Handoff. What do you do? Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control. An opponent gains control of that permanent. Oh, you gotta give your stuff away. How terrible. Piles of cards, get more organized. 2 packs. Go. We got that thing. Plains. Mishra's Juggernaut. Attacks each combat fable 5/3, 5 mana, trample. Unearth for 6. Deadly Riposte. Enter. Deals 3 damage to target tapped creature and you gain 2 life. Moment of Defiance. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains lifelink till end of turn. Draw a card. Where are all these cards the rest of the box? Killzone Acrobat. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, Killzone Acrobat gets flying until end of turn. Hoarding Recluse, we've seen. The Thopter, we've seen. That one, we've seen. Arms Race. You may put an artifact creature card from your hand to the battlefield. That artifact gets haste, sacrifice at the beginning of the end turn. Macefield Tome. Fortified Beach. Oh, this is the one there with the soldiers and stuff. Go for the throat, kill spell, Power Stone. Last pack of the set booster. We got that thing. Plains Onslaught. This figure, so target creature gets +(-2/-2) till end of turn. Blitz Automation. Hastes 6/4 for 7 mana or 3/2 for 3 mana. Demolition Field. Oh, that's the useful land where you can sacrifice. Yeah, non-basic. Both get it, right? Sacrifice, Demolition Field, target. Destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. That land's controller may search the library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle. I may search my library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle. Yeah, that thing's useful. Fall of Krug. Choose target opponent, destroy target land that player controls. The Fall of Krug deals 3 damage to that player and 1 damage to each creature they control. Throat. Mass Production. Create 4 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature tokens, splitting the Power Stone. In addition to casting this spell, sacrifice an artifact. Create 2 Power Stones. Goblin Charbelcher. It's cannon. Shoots goblins. Mishra. Claimed by Gix. I should probably read the Charbelcher. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a land card. Charbelcher deals damage equal to the number of non-land cards revealed this way at any target. If the revealed land card was a mountain, Goblin Charbelcher deals damage. Goblin Charbelcher deals damage instead. Put the revealed cards in the bottom in any order. Why does that read so weird to me? Mishra, claimed by Gix, and it's half of the other. We're seeing this one. That's that. Alright, so we are done with this stuff. Gotten some stuff, some things and stuff. Now we will open the other one. The nice thing about this one is every pack is going to have a box. So I'm getting at least 12 Transformers here. Hopefully I can get the rest of them and just be done with it. And that would be awesome. Let's see what we got. Vanguard, Servant, Elite, Gift, Sweet Swamp, Circle, ooh, nice Gix. Smelting Vat. Sacrifice another artifact, reveal the top 8 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creature artifact cards with total mana value less than or equal to the sacrificed artifact's mana value from among them onto the battlefield and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. Not bad. Shiny Ivy Tower. Elsewhere Flash. Platinum Angel. There we go. That's a wrong card. She loves that Platinum Angel. Jetfire. Ingenious Scientist. Another Transformer. Yes, we are getting there. Helm of the Host. Golem. And Power Stone, obviously. Yeah, Power Stone is on every collector, I believe, on all the tokens. And then it's going to be one other thing. There we go. Soldier and Power Stone. Back in the front. Fog of War, Air Marshal, Mistress Domination, Conscripted Infantry, Gurgling Anointer, Blanchwood Armor, Beautiful Island, Soul Partition. Actually, I don't know what that does. Let's read that. Exile. Target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owners may play it. A spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more to cast. Kalos command. Choose 2. Create 2/2/2. Create a 2/2 colorless construct artifact creature token. Put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and it can double strike till end of turn. Search your library for a basic Flames card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle. Gain 2 life and scry 2. Glint Racker gets +X+0, where X is the highest mana value among artifacts you control. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put an artifact card revealed this way in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. Oh, I don't want to put it in my graveyard. But I mean, I guess. Whatever. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. I got kind of used to putting them out there. Alright, we got another Bonesaw, an Ornithopter, that's a classic. Cursor, another Slicer, Key to the City. So Key to the City, discard a card. Up to 1 target creature cannot be blocked this turn. Put stuff that shouldn't be in here, Let's see what we got. No rares, no. Okay, good. I didn't sort that poorly. For a change. Let's see. Growth Inspire, Grixis Caress, Raise the Ground, Gigamole. Yep, we've seen all these. Diabolic Intent. That's my first one of these. In addition to cast a spell, sack a creature. Arnos Toymaker, nice. Flying Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Scavenge Brawler. Exile it from your graveyard, choose target creature. You can put 4 +1/+1 counters, a flying counter, a vigilance counter, a trample counter, a lifelink counter. And on that creature, and activate only as a sorcery. That's still pretty sweet. More Flash, Shown Term, Cloud Key, Optimus Prime, Shattered Glass. That is gorgeous. So, Optimus Prime, beginning of each end step, bolster 1. If he dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Battlefield under your control converted. Yeah. So you'll bring him back as the backside is the vehicle. Whenever you attack, bolster 2. The chosen creature gains trample until end of turn. When that creature deals combat damage to a player, convert Optimus Prime. I like how they're making Optimus Prime die because, as a child, I cried when he died. So now I have to watch it again over and over. My heart will break each time. I don't know if I actually cried. I don't remember it. My parents told me because I was like 5, maybe 6. Curate, Deadly Riposte, Excavation, Stern Lesson. I don't remember this one. Draw 2 cards, discard a card, create a Power Stone. Pirate Blast, splitting the Power Stone. Rootwire, Amalgam. Yeah, so it's 5 or 2. You pay, and the ability is pay 5. Create XX Golem artifact creature token where X is 3 times Rootwire. Wow, that's huge. Okay, that seems beefy. Tyrant of Care Ridges, we've seen this before. Oh no, Solemn Survivor. Create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target artifact token. Create a token that's a copy of up to 1 target artifact token you control. Mill 2 cards. Sack 2 artifact tokens, exile an artifact creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that exiled card, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. Activate only as a sorcery. Okay, that's not too bad. Chromatic Star, Sigil of Vigor, Blackblade, RC. I got one of them. So RC is first strike, pay 1, remove 1/1 counter from RC. It deals that much damage to target creature, convert RC. The backside of RC is whenever you cast a spell that targets one or more creatures or vehicles you control, put that many +1/+1 counters on RC. I should put RC in Guile, but she's red and white. That would actually just makes a lot of sense now that I'm saying it out loud and reading the card in person. The point of my Guile deck is I keep targeting Guile, so I make more Guile with Vesuvan Dupomancy. So with this, I would just put a bunch of counters on RC. That would make a lot of sense. Alright, Mishra's Command. Choose 2. Choose target player. They discard up to X cards, and they draw a card for each card discarded this way. This spell deals X damage to target creature, or this spell does X damage to target planeswalker. Target creature gets +X/+0 and gains haste till end of turn. Power Stone with a gold. Golem. Alright, so I'm definitely missing Starscream, Blitzwing, and I have Prowler ready from yesterday, and I have Soundwave. I have Soundwave from yesterday and today. What else am I missing? Missing Transformers. Kylo's Reconstruction again. Hostile Negotiations. Exile the top 3 cards of your library, face down pile, then exile the top 3 cards of your library in another face down pile. Look at the cards in each pile, then turn a pile of your choice face up. Opponent chooses one of those piles. Put that pile in your hand, the other into the graveyard. You lose 3 life. Scholar of New Horizons. Enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it. First, remove a counter from a permanent you control. Search your library for a plains card and reveal it. If an opponent controls more lands than you may put that card in the battlefield tapped. If you don't, put that card in the battlefield. Put it into your hand and shuffle. Look at Metal Coating. Oh, 2 of them. Look at that. Shocking, they're identical. Maze Mind Tome. Tap, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tome, scry 1. 2, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tome, draw a card. And there are 4 more page counters on Maze Mind Tome. Exiled if you do gain 4 life. Ah, Gold Bug. We didn't actually look at this one when we got it before. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking humans you control. So it's like a Dolmen Gate for humans. Whenever you cast your second spell a turn, convert Goldbug. Humans you control can't be countered. Whenever Goldbug and at least 1 human attack, draw a card and convert Goldbug. Goldberg. That's his Goldberg now. Legion's Ashes. Exile target non-land permanent opponent controls and all tokens that player controls the same name as that permanent. Hey, you like those Power Stones? Nope, no more Power Stones. Goodbye. Bon voyage. Why am I having trouble with this one? There we go. Giant Growth. Military Discipline, Wing Commando, Disfigure, Bushwhack. Alright, all of those have been seen. This is new. Harbin Vanguard Aviator. Flying. When you attack with 5 or more soldiers, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain flying till end of turn. That's not bad. Duran Spider. When it ETBs, you and target opponent each create a tap Power Stone token. Pay 7, look at the top 4 cards of your library, and reveal an artifact from among them, put it in your hand, and put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Hexavus. Flying. Hexavus enters the battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Hexavus and put a flying counter on another target creature. Remove a counter from another creature you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Hexavus. Oh, I can kind of use that for stuff. And things and stuff. Like a Wellspring. Another Mox Amber. Nice. Blaster, Combat DJ. So, other non-token artifact creatures and vehicles you control have modular 1. They enter the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on Blaster, convert it. Modular 3. X, move X +1/+1 counters from another target artifact from Blaster onto another target artifact. That artifact gains haste until end of turn. If Blaster has no +1/+1 counters on it, convert it, activate only as a sorcery. Back to the other side. Urza, Chief Artificer. Face Commander for the deck. Artifact creatures you control have menace. At the beginning of your end step, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. With this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Power Stone. We're getting there. We're getting there. Getting closer to the. There we go. All of my robots. Got a raid, disenchant. These are all not new. Faithful Handoff. Draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature you control. The opponent gains control of that. Oh, we looked at that before. We saw it before. Painful Quandary. We saw that one. Hellisher Devastation. You lose X life and create X power, tap Power Stone tokens. Then all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn for each artifact you control. That's neat. Pristine Talisman again. Maker Wellspring. Thorn of Amherst. Ah, Soundwave. Hello, Soundwave. This is the token one. I believe I already have you, right? There's somewhere. Yeah, we've already went over Soundwave. Urza, we went over you already as well. There, Power Stone. Artifacts. I'm gonna have a lot of artifacts. It's gonna be just like the Mystical Archive all over again. Yeah. These. Swamp. What is this? Beginning of your upkeep, scry 2. Whenever you choose to put one or more cards at the bottom of the library while scrying, exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Temporal Anchor. Oh, that's nice. Mural, we already seen you. Geology Enthusiast. Beginning of your end step, create a tapped Power Stone token. 6 to draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on this thing. Elf Assembler, we've had one. Flamewar, Brash Veteran. We saw you. Sacrifice another artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Flamewar and convert it. Activate only as a sorcery. Pay 1, discard your hand, put all exile cards onto you own with intel counters on them into your hand. Oh, okay. Back is the Menace Death Touch. Whenever Flame War deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from the top of your library face down. Put an intel counter on each one of them. Convert Flame War. Got it. That's how things happen. So you can swap, if you have a junky hand, you can swap it with the exiled ones, but then that stuff's exiled and not. Yeah, so you just discard? Yeah, you discard your hand. That's not too bad. We've seen Hostile Negotiations, Power Stone. Oh man, I'm almost done. Almost done. Really? Just the further in you go, the faster it gets. Skitterbeam Battalion. Trample Haste, ETBs. If you cast it, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. Okay, yikes. It's 9 for a 4/4. Or 5 for a 2/2. Page from history. Kyla's Music Box. Look at the top card of your library, then exile it face down. Till the end of turn, you may play cards you own exiled to Kyla's Music Box. Alright. Beautiful. Foundry Inspector, Talisman, Mind's Eye. What does this do? Whenever opponent draws a card, you may pay 1 and draw your own. Oh, we got another Ratchet. So if Ron doesn't have one, now she does. Journeyman's Kite. Journeyer's Kite. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle. Power Stone. And we have 2 packs left. 2 packs left. Air Marshal. Okay. Forest. Steel Seraph. Angel. Beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains your choice of flying, vigilance, lifelink until end. Ah, that's nice. That ability alone's nice. I'll take that. We've seen this one, we've seen you, and you. Sword of the Meek. Whenever 1/1 creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Sword of the Meek from your graveyard to the battlefield and attach it to that creature. Ooh, that's a sweet looking prowl. I like Shattered Glass. Whenever a prowl attacks, exile one other target tapped creature or vehicle. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it. Whenever a player plays a card exiled with prowl, you draw a card. Oh, we're fumbling cards. Whenever another creature or vehicle enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on prowl. This is the second time this ability is activated. Flip them. Well, convert them. Queen. One more. Let's see what we got. I haven't seen the something welcome. It's the basically welcoming vampire, but as an enchantment. Where is that one? Razor Lash Transmogrant. Can't block. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it. This ability costs 4 less to activate if opponent controls 4 or more non-basic lands. Oh, that'll be good in Commander. Always controlling the non-basics. Scrap Trawler. When Scrap Trawler and another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card of the graveyard with less amount of. Ah, Starscream. Sweet. We have Starscream here. And we have Starscream here. Because I'm a dork. So, Starscream, Power Hungry. Flying. Whenever you draw a card, if you're the monarch, target opponent loses 2 life. Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, convert Starscream. Whenever Starscream deals combat damage to a player, if there is no monarch, that player becomes the monarch. So whoever you whack with Starscream, he gives them the monarch so he can take it back, like in the movie when he was wearing the crown and then all the other stuff happened that everyone should probably know if they care. Whenever you become the monarch, you convert Starscream, so you're back to the front. So, whenever you draw a card, if you're the monarch, yes. So you put this with like you could definitely add the Shieldred. The card draws Shieldred to this. That'll be gross, and then the Wound Reflection, and I'm sure there's a ton more that I can't think of off the top of my head. But I think I'm almost out of Transformers that I need, which is awesome. We want them all. Alright, there we go. Automatic Assembler. 1 mana tap, put +1/+1 counter on target assembly where you control. Oh, I've seen this. So it's 2 mana for a 2/2 or 5 mana for a 4/5. Fortified Beachhead, Last Furnace Hellguide, Mishra, Inspiring Sanctuary. So, non-artifact spells you cast have improvise. So, you can use your Power Stones with this to now start casting non-artifacts. Another Cyclonus. Into the Trenches. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Exile target non-land permanent you don't control until in the Trenches leaves the battlefield. You can only activate it once and as a sorcery. It's kind of lame. And that is it. We are out of Commander, or out of packs for today, and thanks for watching. Sorry if I'm rambling on, and thanks.